Hello guys, in this lecture we're going to be talking about one more example with the subtotals, and then we move on to another functionality in Excel for data processing purposes. Alright, what I have here is the previous example, the stationaries data. So I'm looking at the last example we did. So as you can see, we have the data and then subtotals for each sales rep, and then what we had here is the sales numbers, all right, for each person. And this is the chart, a bar chart showing all these numbers in a bar chart. Alright, next thing we'd like to do is I'm gonna go ahead and get the original data set, click number 3, all the details, number 3, level 3. Okay, and after that let me delete the chart first. Okay, and then let's see, remove the subtotals. How do you remove the subtotals? The same way you insert subtotals, it's under the data, all right, and then subtotals, and then remove all. All right, that's nice. Let me do real quick another example, and this time it's gonna be say we like to get another, say, by region. Yeah, let's see all of these sales by region, so total sales by region. So let's write this down. Show us the total sales by region. All right, so say how many regions do we have anyway? So Hartford, New Haven, and Fairfield, so 3 regions. So at the end of each region, I like to get a subtotal for the sales column. Alright, no big deal, but remember, how do you start? We have to select the data set, Control Shift right arrow, Control Shift down arrow, and then sort by region. Alright, so sort by region, A to Z, click OK. Now I have like Fairfield is here, Hartford here, and New Haven here. So at the end of each region, I like to get a subtotal about here, right here. For example, subtotal for New Haven, the total number would be some of these numbers, right? This is the start of New Haven, so I like to get that. And if you like to get Hartford numbers, okay, at the end of Hartford you get somewhere here another subtotal. Alright, let's do it real quick. We have to go ahead and select your data set and then get the subtotal, and at each change of region give me a sum, and on the sales column, yep, already checked, that's good, so click OK. And then as you can see, we have the numbers, one here, another one here, and at the end another one here. That's nice. So I'm looking at detail level 3, so why don't you click on number 2, detail level 2, and I think you got all these numbers. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm gonna create a chart, press Control key down, and then select the sales column. Alright, and then insert it could be a bar chart, it could be a pie chart. Let's do this one maybe, and then yeah, you could see that. Okay, Hartford is here, the largest piece, and the green one is New Haven, and then finally blue one is Fairfield. Alright guys, I think this part is clear. This is one way to process your data by subtotals. Alright, groupings and subtotals, after that sorting and grouping and subtotals. Alright, Now I'd like to show you another feature in Excel to process the data. Alright, that feature is something to do with say conditional formulas. Remember, we did the count if and we did the sum if. So there's some condition when you sum something or when you count something. Similar fashion, the same rule applies, and we can something called if function. Okay, we're gonna be using if function in Excel, so we can see it's pretty useful. We can use it in many places. All right, so let me go back to the original data set real quick and then ask you a question, and let's answer that question. So I'm going back to data and subtotal, remove the subtotal. All right, here's my question. I'm going to insert another column real quick, maybe a couple of columns. All right, good. All right, here's my question. I say number 4, I say there's some kind of shipment cost. All right, it's not part of the data set. As you can see, there's no such thing shipment cost, but say we have that, and then shipment cost depends on the town, depends on the distance, right? So the longest the distance is, the more money you pay. So I say we have this shipment cost determined by a certain rule, and according to this rule, it says shipment cost is, say, okay, all right, $5 for Hartford. All right, and say $3 for other locations. All right, so $5 for Hartford, $3 for other locations. How do you reflect that rule? How do you create that column shipment cost based on this particular rule? So we have if function for that purpose. So here's how if function works. I'm gonna write this down real quick. If function takes 3 parameters, first one, say x, y, and z. All right, 3 parameters. So x is the condition to be tested, like it is true or not. If x is true, then show second parameter, that's y. Show me y. If x is not true, all right, then show me z. All right, so x, the first parameter, is a condition to be true or not. All right, and if it is true, you take y. If it is not true, you take z. All right, so it is like, if the city is Hartford, take $5, otherwise take $3. All right, so we can reflect that, we can write this similar fashion. Here we go. Start with an equal sign. If, all right, if the condition, the test, the logical test. All right, if the region, you click on the region, all right, corresponding row, corresponding information. So if this town or this region is Hartford, all right, show me what the shipment cost is, like I said, $5. All right, otherwise the city is not Hartford, the region is not Hartford, then show me $3. All right. We don't need dollar signs, by the way. Yeah, just delete that. All right. So if Hartford is true, if this is true, show me 5. Otherwise, show me 3. All right. Now this one looks like 3. All right, because it is not Hartford, it is Fairfield. That's pretty much it, guys. So all you have to do is just drag this down, and yeah, you get all the numbers. You see all the 5s and 3s and so on, as you can see. All right, so this data set already sorted by the region, so we see a lot of 3s, a lot of 5s, and then 3s again. All right, so shipment cost is determined this fashion. You see, we generated additional information based on a given data set, based on raw data. All right, that's good. Let's do one more example. I say there's some kind of, let's see, sales tax, or maybe not the sales side. Let's see some kind of fee. All right, there's a fee. Okay, there's a municipality fee. Okay, as described below. All right, so let's say this fee is like, let's see, the fees. All right, 10% of total sales, 10% of sales for New Haven. All right, 10% of sales for New Haven, 5% of sales, all right, for other towns. Okay, so we have to pay that fee based on where you make the delivery. All right, 10% for New Haven and 5% for other towns. 10% of what? Sales. Okay, where is the sales numbers? Sales are here. All right, then we're good to go. So fee is if function. All right, yeah, sales are here, but one more time, the condition is related to the region. So we have to test for New Haven. If the region is New Haven, so where is the region located? Region is right here. All right, so if that region is New Haven, all right, then okay, so if this is true, then what happens? If this is true, you pay how much? 10% of sales. All right, that's fine. So 10% is 0.10 actually. All right, 0.10 is 10%. 10% multiplied by sales amount. This is the money you're supposed to pay if you make the delivery to New Haven. All right, 10% of that money goes to the town. All right, but if the town is not New Haven, then the situation changes and it becomes only 5%. All right, am I correct? 5%. All right, let me check. Yeah, 5%. So the fee is only 5%. If the town is not New Haven, 5% is like this, 0.05, 5% of same number, sales number. All right, 5% of that. Okay, guys, looks like we have a nice function and conditional statement, checking if the town is New Haven or not, and calculating some amount based on that. So press enter key, and as you can see, this town is not New Haven, it's Fairfield, so 5% is charged, and that 5% of 139 is $7. All right, and then that number changes for each town and sales amount. You see, you get different numbers. Alright guys, one more time I'm gonna click on, alright, click and check the formula and see that it is checking the region and taking the sales and then multiplying proper percentage, alright, based on New Haven or not. Alright, so that's good. Alright, this is if function. Is, as you can see, it's pretty useful. Alright, we'll be using this function in many other places, but again, one problem or one restriction with if function is it is useful when you have two options, just like that. As you can see, we have like two options, New Haven or not. Okay, either New Haven or not. What if it's like the options are more than two, like New Haven, Fairfield, and Hartford? Each one requires a different percentage, something like that. If you have multiple options, more than two, in that case, yes, you can use if function, alright, but then if function gets a little bit complicated because it becomes like nested if inside if. Alright, so I'm gonna show you a quick example. Alright, say number 6. Okay, there's a tax, local tax, say local tax as described below. Alright, say 4% of sales for, let's change the town this time for Fairfield. Okay, say 3% for New Haven and 2% for other towns. There are no other towns, but let's say other towns. Alright, now you have like three options, and in that case, yeah, it's kind of situation changes. Alright, here's how you calculate. It's pretty similar, alright, but it's gonna be two if statements, alright, a nested if, one if inside another if. So let me insert another column for clarity. Alright, okay, here's my if, alright, so if depends on the what region. Alright, so if region is Fairfield, alright, and if that's the case, well, the situation is like, what's the amount? 3%, right? 3% of sales, yeah, 4% of the sales. Alright, so 0.04, 4% of total the sales amount. Alright, if the town is Fairfield, you get that. Alright, if not, okay, now the not part, if not part. So if not, there are two possibilities: if the town is New Haven or not New Haven. So another comparison, and that's another if. So you have to write if, another if. Okay, if the region, alright, is, alright, equal New Haven, then the percentage is 0.03 multiplied, alright, by sales. Alright, so if it is not Fairfield, two options, New Haven or not. So if New Haven, then you get that. Alright, 3% of sales amount. However, if the town is not New Haven, is not Fairfield, another town, in that case you are right here, okay, right here. If it is not New Haven, then it must be another town, and in that case, for all other towns, the ratio is 3%. The rate is 2% multiplied by sales amount. All right. So you gotta close the first parenthesis, closing the if inside, all right, and then another closing that closes the if outside. All right. So this is it. Enter, and you got a copy, and you're kind of done. All right. So as you can see, this gets a little bit complicated when you have more than one option or two options. If you have like 3, 4, 5 options, you got like one if here, another if here, another if here, another if, like 3, 4, 5 if, and then yeah, you lose it. Basically, it's too complicated. All right. So I don't recommend using too many ifs inside. At most only 2 if. All right, one if here, one if here. This is the highest level. Otherwise it gets, you can, but it gets too complicated. All right, but what are you gonna do? All right, if you have multiple options, no big deal, we have another solution. All right, but that solution will be my next lecture. All right, I'll see you in my next lecture to explain the other option. All right, the better option. All right, see you in my next lecture. Bye now.